Narrator Podcast with hallziespoetrycorner. The Narrator Podcast is changing the narrative one episode at a time.
Hello. Welcome to the Narrative Podcast. I'm your host, Hallziespoetrycorner. Welcome all my narrators. Welcome everybody that's new to the podcast. Hope you're doing good on this fine weekend. It is beautiful in my neck of the woods. So tomorrow is Mother's Day, so I'm sending a special Narrative Podcast shout out to all the mothers. I know it's just a holiday, a greeting card holiday, but I don't think there's a more important position on the planet than the position of a mother. So if you are fortunate to have your mother, please make sure that lady is appreciated tomorrow. Really every single day, but tomorrow go all out. Spare no expense. She deserves it. All right. So, if you are new to this podcast, allow me to briefly do a quick dive into what it is I do here. It's called the Narrative Podcast, and it's called the Narrative Podcast for a reason. I change the narrative one episode at a time by destroying negative black stereotypes. So I basically tell our stories from our perspectives on our own terms and conditions. I started this podcast because I felt I started the podcast over the summer because I felt like I was being bombarded with all kinds of negative imagery, negative audio, and it's not just in online. It's in movies, it's in music, it's in publications. Media outlet has this real horrible way of depicting black people and black culture in a negative light. And so I wanted to build a platform where I'm celebrating our successes, basically highlighting and setting an example of what it is we bring to providing positive frames of reference about what it is we bring to the table, and basically just trying to put positivity in the atmosphere, because we just keep on seeing negative frames of reference about black people and black culture. It's like they are incentivizing and pushing the narrative for the negative stereotype of a black man, the negative stereotype of a black woman. So, that's what's kind of in the forefront all the time, but that's not a correct actual depiction of all of this. So they're making generalizations for some of us to speak for the multitude. And so, I wanted to balance it out a little bit. A lot, actually. But that's essentially what I do here. I just provide positive frames of reference about black people and black culture and try to keep this space positive. I also do commentary on current events. But when I do it from the black perspective, because the media will have us looking and sounding crazy. So you definitely always have to change the narrative on them, because they got a history of changing our history. So if we don't change the narrative, they'll tell our stories for us. So while we're able to tell our own stories, we have to tell our own stories. Thus, the title, The Narrative Podcast. So I hope that cleared it up. So in the last couple episodes, I found a format that works a little bit better. When I started it, I didn't actually even have a format. I used to just jump on and just start talking. Now I actually have a format that kind of works, that's been working. It's really efficient and lives up to the title. But for the time's sake, I'll break down each section as I come to them rather than just tell all the sections of my podcast. That's how I was doing it originally, just telling each section and what I'm saying in each section of the podcast. But I'm gonna just break the sections down as I come to them. So that's what I'm doing now. But before that, some things happened in the media, and we're gonna, we pay homage to our people, our fallen people. We had a couple well-known figures pass away this month, and we are going to salute them for their contributions while they were here. So I think everybody knows one of them because it's been going viral, but I don't think we've been hearing too much about the other one that I want to give a moment of silence to. So I'm going to start off with that. Just recently, recording artist Jewel passed away. She was a recording artist on the label formerly known as Death Row, or now, Snoop owns that, but, she was on the original Death Row roster. She made her debut on Snoop Dogg's Murder Was the Case, doing a rendition, her rendition of Woman to Woman by a song by Shirley Brown. So, and ever since that, that day, it's just been, when she made her debut, it's been a wrap. She had one opportunity after other opportunity, and she's pretty much had made her living touring and just, participating in the craft that she loves. Singing, she had a very powerful voice, a very sultry voice. There aren't too many in our culture. We would call her sang. So Jewel, she could sing. There's sing and then there's sang. So that's like singing to the 20th power. And she will be missed. So the articles I came across was basically saying she had become very ill in the month of March. She had some fluid on her heart, and obviously it took a turn for the worst. She is no longer here, so moment of silence for Jewel. All right, so the next person, of course, it shouldn't be a secret by now. Black Twitter has been going nuts. Is Mr. Kevin Samuels. So he took the world by storm this year for his blunt, blatant honesty and relationship advice. And a whole lot of people, especially people meaning black women, weren't too appreciative of it, his brand of therapy. But nevertheless, he will be missed. And it's really sad that so many people are online taking jabs. It's It's like however you feel about a person, you got an opportunity to address them while they're here on this physical plane. But after they leave, whatever ill will or malice you have towards them should not be uttered. I mean, there are extenuating circumstances such as murder, rape, something like that. But in the case of Brother Kevin, he was he was an online personality. He was a public figure. He didn't owe anybody anything. All the people that called to his platform, they called seeking his counsel. And, all the people that he kind of had to check and get raw with was people trying to run his platform, speak over him. And, basically what that's called is being an asshole. You ask somebody for help, but then you know everything. So, what are you asking for help for if you don't want to listen? So, that was his energy. Don't be an asshole. Don't ask my advice, but then think you know better than me. If you know better than me, what are you asking me for? That was his whole energy. I didn't agree with a whole lot of what the brother said about relationships. Thing about me is I don't like generalization, and I just didn't like the fact sometimes he would say, "Oh, y'all black women." That's the only thing I didn't like. But all the women that called on his show, he was spot on talking to them the way he talked to them, because some people just can't handle the truth. They don't want to come to grips with the fact that they were the problem. Some people can't handle that. When you shine the light on them and say, "Hey, you're the problem. This is why this is happening. It's your fault." And some people don't know how to take that. So, but anyway, I think I got a little long-winded. He will be missed. Give a brief moment of silence for Mr. Kevin Samuels. All right. So diving right into it, coming to my first section. This is the part where I extend the olive branch to any black-owned business owners. If you are a black-owned business or know of any black-owned businesses that need free promotion, please hit me up at passionwebmail@poeticpassion.host. In the body of the email, tell me a little bit about yourself, your product, or your service. Tell me a little bit about yourself, a brief little bio about yourself, and tell me a little bit about your business, product, or service, so that I know, how to plug your business. What you're selling. Make sure to include, if you have a physical location, the address, operation, store hours, your email, your website address, if you got a website, all that good stuff. Again, and it's free. I'm not charging anything, not asking for anything. The reason why I'm doing it is just reach one, teach one, get that experience.